In this video, I'm going to be going through the instructions for your culminating activity. So your culminating activity is going to consist of 2 parts, and each part is going to contain 5 questions that are focusing on the main concepts throughout this course. Part 1 will be released on Tuesday, and Part 2 will be released on Friday. You must submit your full solutions to the Dropbox by the assigned or the appropriate due dates, and you cannot start Part 2, or you will not have access to Part 2 until you've submitted Part 1. So please make sure you are following the deadlines. I will be posting those in the actual announcement during the culminating week. So to get your 5 questions, you will be given a quiz, and the link will be again in the announcements. It will be located under the quiz section as well, labeled Culminating Activity Part 1. So by starting the quiz, you're going to get 5 random questions, all under the main concepts. Each question will contain a link that will open a PDF of each question. From there, you can download the PDF or print it so that you have access to it with outside of the quiz. You must complete your own set of questions, and they will be cross-referenced at the end. So I will be going back to this quiz to double check to make sure you did the same questions or the correct questions. So you cannot be sharing answers, or you shouldn't be sharing answers with another student, because they are going to be different. So this is what it's going to roughly look like when you start the quiz. You have your kind of general description. Please be aware of the quiz period. It will be made available at noon on Tuesday and at noon on Friday, provided you've submitted the correct work. You will have an unlimited amount of time for this between those 2 days to access the quiz. Again, I recommend downloading or printing off the files as soon as you or the first time you go through this. But if you want to leave them on the computer, you can check them by just relogging into the quiz or checking your submission. So the main instructions for the culminating activity, this is going to be exactly the same for Part 2 as well. So you must write your full solutions and submit them as one file to the appropriate assignment Dropbox. So there will be an assignment folder or Dropbox labeled Culminating Activity Part 1, where you will submit your full solutions. In there will be a PDF or a set of PDF instructions on how to submit all of your pictures as one PDF file. In the past, you have submitted them, say, as individual pictures, but because this is going to be a bit longer, I am requesting that you submit them as one file. So whether you copy and paste them into one Google Doc and save it as a PDF, or use the instructions I've provided, is up to you, as long as it's only one file. You must show all your work for each question. So it's not going to be stated on each question, but you are to assume that you have to show all of your work. You will not receive full marks if you do not have any work. So again, we talked about in class some of the shortcuts you can take. You don't need to show every single step. You can condense some of them, but I should see at least a beginning of, say, like your blank equation or the general equation, filling in the information, doing some calculations, and then seeing the final answer. Any diagrams or measurements that are provided are not done to scale, so do not measure them. Do not try to find the angle by using a protractor. They are not drawn to scale. In terms of questions, I will not be answering questions based on these specific questions. So you cannot email me saying, I do not know how to do number 1, I don't know how to do number 2, or whatever the case may be. However, I will answer any questions about any of the lessons, so any of the concepts we've talked about, any of the homework questions, any of the course review questions, or such. So you still would have to apply your understanding to the specific culminating questions, but I will answer any questions about the concepts, provided they are not using the specific numbers or the specific wording of the culminating. So Part 1 must be completed by the due date. Same with Part 2. You'll have roughly 2 days to complete them. When you complete them is up to you, but you will only have access to submit them during those 2 days. If it's after the due date or the end date, you will not be able to submit it, and you must email me so that we can discuss why that wasn't the case. So again, you're going to have roughly 2 days to submit the questions. There's only 5 questions, keeping in mind that on a normal hybrid school day, you would be spending 4 hours in class working, so you should be spending roughly 4 hours at home as well working on this. So when you finish reading through all the instructions, you're going to go through and click Start Quiz. So here you're going to see your 5 questions. Just label question 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, as long as in blue, your specific questions that you have to answer. By clicking on each one, it will open up a PDF with the question or the specific question that you have to solve. From there, you can download it, print it, whatever you need to do in order to answer it. If you just want to leave it open and solve it on a lined piece of paper, that's fine as well. Once you've completed each question, just check complete or completed and submit your quiz at the end so that I am able to see what questions you got. And once you've done that, your quiz has successfully been submitted. It will say level 4 because the answer was basically that you had to complete it. So you will not be marked on the quiz. You'll be marked on your actual solutions that you submitted to the assignment Dropbox. So again, if you have any questions about the instructions of this or what you should be doing, or again, any of the concepts, please feel free to email me. I will be setting up kind of a drop-in help session during those days. There will be some review videos being posted as well on the class days. So again, you do have plenty of resources available to you. Again, make sure you are checking or make sure you're aware of the due dates so that you get your culminating activity submitted on time. And again, like I mentioned, just email me if you have any questions or are unsure of anything.